One afternoon, strolling out to the corner of your backyard, you suddenly freeze before a wilting tomato plant. The once lush green leaves are now dull, dry, and fading like old, brittle pages. The stem slumps against the earth in sheer helplessness, and the blossoms that once promised a heavy harvest have now closed shut. Faced with this grim scene, the instinct of most people is to click their tongues and give up. They grab a shovel, uproot the poor plant, toss it into the compost heap, and console themselves that nature is simply cruel. But soil scientists, the people who dedicate their lives to aiming microscopes at the boundary between plant life and death, hold a truth that could completely change the way we garden. In the vast majority of cases, that drooping plant has not crossed death's door. It isn't dying from disease or old age, it is simply starving. It is exhausted from a severe deficiency of specific micronutrients that the soil below has entirely lost the ability to provide. And here is what is truly worth pondering. That entire deficiency can be completely replenished using fast-absorbing liquid nutrients, allowing the plant to rapidly take in what it needs to revive itself without agonizingly waiting for solid fertilizers to break down. Even more astonishingly, the catalysts to kickstart this resurrection process are not sitting in some expensive agricultural supply center. They are sitting right on your kitchen counter. There are exactly 5 completely free organic liquid solutions that agricultural professors have quietly measured, that traditional farmers have used across generations, yet commercial agriculture rarely whispers about. Today we are going to unpack the biological mechanics explaining why these liquid materials can revive a plant so smoothly and effectively, while pointing out the classic, fatal mistakes that cause so many to fail when trying to apply them. By the way, before we dive deep into the mechanics of these materials, I am truly curious about the land you are cultivating. From what climate are you watching this film? Is the earth beneath your feet heavy clay, drought-prone sand, or a tiny balcony corner in the heart of a concrete jungle? In every region, nature teaches humanity different survival lessons. If you are applying a rustic gardening hack gathered from your own hometown, please generously leave a few lines in the comment. We are not just here to watch a video. We are here to connect and weave a community of nature lovers, where precious experiences from all over the world are shared and preserved forever. Returning to our kitchen story, let's start with a small question. When you pick up an onion, which part holds the most abundant source of potassium? The plump, white, juicy bulb, or the bone-dry, paper-thin, rust-brown outermost skin that you just peeled off and threw away? The treasure actually lies entirely in that skin. Those fragile membranes, dismissed as waste, are actually a massive concentration point for potassium, calcium, magnesium, and iron. Even more brilliantly, they contain an incredibly rich concentration of quercetin, a biological compound that acts as a natural shield. Quercetin fortifies the leaf surface against the brutal heat of summer, suppresses the spread of fungal diseases, and helps the plant's intracellular structure remain stable when facing severe heat shock. Yet, this is the exact crossroads where the vast majority of gardeners stumble. They gather onion skins and bury them straight into the base of the plant. That method isn't wrong, but it demands a massive amount of time. It will take months for the microbial system to break down those tough, dry skins, while the plant canopy above continues to wither from starvation. The key to breaking this bottleneck lies in water. You simply need to gather a handful of dry onion skins, toss them into a glass jar, submerge them in cool water, and let them sit in stillness. When the water gradually shifts to a deep, profound amber, that is the physical manifestation of minerals being extracted and flawlessly dissolved into the stream. In this liquid state, plant roots can absorb them with unbelievable ease. When you pour this amber elixir into the base of a sick plant, the nutrient stream instantly permeates the root zone, the stem is gradually rehydrated, and new leaves are given the chance to unfurl with vibrant, fresh colors. The quercetin within the solution also steps in to support the plant's natural immune system, giving an exhausted life force the foundation it needs to rise again. While the onion skin solution pumps nutrients directly into the roots, the second material operates on an entirely different philosophy. It feeds the ecosystem beneath the tree. How many times have you poured that milky white water down the drain after washing rice? That seemingly harmless act is actually flushing away a phenomenally valuable soil-building resource. Rice wash water carries excess starches, B vitamins, and trace minerals. However, to maximize its power, you must ferment it. Pour the rice water into a glass jar, rest the lid loosely on top, and leave it in a corner of your kitchen. When the liquid emits a mildly pungent, sour aroma reminiscent of bread yeast, that is the moment it reaches absolute perfection. That sour scent signals that lactic acid bacteria and beneficial yeast strains have stabilized and multiplied within the solution. When you dilute this fermented water with clean water at a 1:10 ratio and pour it at the base of your plant, a fierce biological process detonates underground. The starch load in the rice water becomes a massive food source, triggering the native microbes in the soil to multiply. The population of beneficial bacteria around the roots will explode. They will tirelessly plow the earth, break down organic matter, and engineer a vibrantly living soil environment. The majesty of fermented rice water lies right here. Instead of giving the plant a fleeting meal to survive the day, you are actively building it an unbreakable, persistent underground nutrient supply system. But if the soil requires time to rebuild, a plant collapsing from exhaustion demands an emergency dose of nutrition. This is when we look into the dark corners of the refrigerator. A mushy cucumber, half a wilted head of lettuce, or a bruised, rotting tomato. Through a biological lens, that pile of rotting vegetables is packed with trapped primal nitrogen. Based on chemist Justus von Liebig's law of the minimum, a plant's growth is not dictated by the total resources available, but by the scarcest resource, the limiting factor. And nitrogen is frequently the bottleneck in almost every backyard garden. Crush that pile of vegetables, toss it into a plastic bucket, flood it with water, and weigh the scraps down so they sink into the dark to ferment. Under this anaerobic environment, bacteria will shatter the cellular structures, releasing the imprisoned nitrogen into the water, a process scientifically known as nitrogen mineralization. The resulting solution, once brewed for enough time, will be murky and carry a pungent, sharp odor. That signature stench is the undeniable proof of successful mineralization. You absolutely must dilute this extract heavily with clean water before use. Never spray it directly onto the leaves to avoid burning the canopy. Simply pour it smoothly into the soil zone around the roots. This liquid nitrogen source will permeate at lightning speed, helping those yellowing, brittle leaves gradually reclaim their deep green chlorophyll. The plant's growth rhythm is injected with a massive surge of vitality. The amount of organic nitrogen an average family wastes is genuinely enough to sustain a lush, thriving corner garden. Yet, sickly plants often harbor a macronutrient deficiency. What if we combine these materials into a single master formula, powerful enough to plug multiple nutritional holes at once? This fourth secret begins with 3 classic pillars. Banana peels to deliver potassium for fruit setting. Crushed eggshells carry calcium carbonate to fortify cell walls and prevent blossom end rot. And third, used coffee grounds. Many people are terrified that coffee grounds will turn the soil sour. The truth is, only unbrewed coffee powder is highly acidic. Coffee grounds that have passed through hot water actually carry a pH hovering between 6.5 and 6.8, an almost perfectly neutral state that is incredibly safe for plant roots. They deliver slow-release nitrogen and dramatically improve the soil's aeration. This formula is violently activated by two additional ingredients. First is Epsom salt, which is magnesium sulfate. Magnesium is the absolute core of every chlorophyll molecule. When a plant lacks magnesium, the leaf tissue turns yellow while the veins remain starkly dark green. A small amount of dissolved Epsom salt will inject direct magnesium to aid in reversing this condition. However, only use this when you are absolutely certain the plant is showing exact symptoms of magnesium deficiency, to avoid knocking the soil's minerals out of balance. The final ingredient is molasses, the thick, viscous remnant left over after boiling sugarcane. Molasses doesn't just contain minerals, it is the ultimate superfood for microbes. When you add a spoonful of molasses to your brewing jar, you are hyper-stimulating the bacterial population. They will massively accelerate the breakdown of those stubborn peels and shells, slashing the brewing time significantly. The resulting yield is a master blend solution loaded with potassium, calcium, nitrogen, magnesium, and a fiercely active microbial system. Closing out this list, we drift back through history to the most primal method of all, one that existed long before chemical fertilizers were ever invented. To sustain the fertility of ancient fields, farmers relied entirely on the natural cycle, perfectly embodied in the manure tea method. This technique is rustic but intensely powerful. A volume of carefully aged, composted animal manure, absolutely never use fresh manure, to avoid hot ammonia gas and the spread of pathogens, is stuffed into a fabric sack, tied tightly, and submerged in a large bucket of water. The water acts as an extractor, pulling the soluble minerals, nitrogen, and phosphorus out into the liquid. The fibrous, inert mass remains safely trapped inside the fabric sack, guaranteeing you won't be scattering weed seeds across your garden. Each type of manure carries its own distinct profile. Chicken manure is fiercely rich in nitrogen, cow manure calmly builds humus, and rabbit manure is so gentle it is safe even for tender young roots. Once you harvest this deeply concentrated liquid, it is absolutely mandatory to dilute it with water until it reaches the color of a weak iced tea. The ultimate perfect time to pour this solution is just after the sun has set, or in the pristine early morning. This prevents the blazing heat from evaporating the nutrients, allowing the soil and roots to slowly, deeply drink in this stream of vitality in the cool air. Onion skins, sour rice water, rotting vegetables, the molasses-brewed kitchen mix, and aged manure tea. 5 different paths, yet governed by the exact same natural principle. Everything the industrial era labels as garbage is in reality a resource meticulously prearranged by nature to cycle and breathe life back into the world. Once you truly empathize with this, you are no longer just a consumer of agricultural supplies. You are stepping into the profound role of an observer and a facilitator of life. The next time you see a branch beginning to droop, I hope you won't immediately reach for the shovel. Step into your kitchen, look at the things you thought were meant to be thrown away, and roll up your sleeves to help nature complete its cycle. If these quiet, ecological perspectives have touched your soul and opened up a new way of approaching your garden, please gently press the like button and subscribe to the channel so we can continue this journey together. Let's learn to listen to the earth through the most seemingly insignificant fragments. The journey back to the magnificent balance of nature still holds so much waiting for us ahead. May you always find peace within your garden.